season 1 ends with Ellie going through the door dressed up as Dodge, which I don't super get because the way they frame it right, they say you can't be a real person with the head key.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, with the identity key.
Yeah.
Then Gabe can turn... Well, Dodge can turn Ellie into Dodge.
Yeah.
I guess because Dodge was never a real person, but once you become a person, doesn't that make you a real person?
But then,
So could everyone be Dodge?
But then what was Dodge before that then? Because I always thought, is the Englishman the new Dodge, like the Dodge all along? But turns out it wasn't.
I think Lucas just wanted to be a girl.
Oh, that's right. It was Lucas that got hit with the bullet. But
yeah.
then it's like, Lucas is still in there. But it's like, what? Okay, how's that? Why is this Echo different? Why was it different from like being a demon? They
were saying that the Echo key brought the demon back, not just Lucas.
Yeah.
So, what happens in the season, basically?
It's pretty much like your first 7 episodes are sort of just build up, kind of. Even you could probably argue maybe the first 8, until it's just like the characters realize, oh wow, well there's a bad person out there. We should probably do something about that.
Episode 1, they think they've gotten rid of her.
Yeah.
So we're the only ones that know. The whole first few episodes is literally just Gabe doing stuff completely unrelated to the to the Locks, and then the Locks doing stuff completely unrelated to.
It's just
Gabe.
2 sides. Yeah, it's just 2 stories that sort of just running parallel with each other. Well, I guess maybe 3 if you include the flashbacks, I suppose.
Yeah, which I guess wouldn't be a real problem, except it kind of nothing happens. With a show like Game of Thrones, everyone's always heading towards the same point, so they're all going to one place. Whereas with this, Gabe's kind of just hanging out and kind of trying to get the keys, and then we get to learn that he wants to make a new key. So the Locke's whole plot for the first few episodes is that they're super happy because
they vanquished the big bad, but still.
So they're literally just hanging out, and then Duncan kind of remembers, kind of doesn't, but they kind of cause that themselves. Whereas then they don't really notice until almost near the end of the season that Gabe is the baddie.
Yeah.
And then they try to fight him, and then that's their story. So they say they do nothing for the first start, and then the end they fight the baddie.
Well, you notice that Dodge doesn't come back until the final episode, the real Lady Dodge.
She makes she makes an appearance in the first episode, or or episode 2 maybe.
I reckon they probably would have just reused footage from the first season.
Because they use her to talk to Eden and say you can't turn into anyone else, and then she turns into the baddie for 1 second just to yell at Eden, and then she comes back at the very end.
But you notice after she turns from Gabe into her completely different. Yeah.
Gabe is just a big lover boy that is angry occasionally, but then you have in the first season, Dodge kills a child by pushing him onto the train tracks for literally no reason. And then season 2, Gabe's in love with Kinsey, so we can't be hurting Kinsey.
But then it can't be hurting Kinsey and trying to join it. Is it how they were trying to do the parallel thing with the lobster monster thing?
Oh god, that was so obvious.
Yeah,
from the very big in the first. Oh, sorry. Oh god, which episode is it? I just want to try to get the actual episode right.
Because Oh
no, it's episode 1.
Is that
Holy
1?
Shit, yeah.
I just remember. They were giving out posters and everything about the premiere.
Yeah, so in episode 1, because Gabe's story is so completely separate, that's the annoying thing. Gabe is off doing his own evil deeds, in which case he's trying to get the key a little bit, but only sneakily enough that only Bodhi ever sees him, ever go to the house. And then, so in the first episode they have the premiere, so Gabe is also, while trying to get the evil keys, he's talking to Kinsey, and in love with Kinsey for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Because Kinsey is dumb very occasionally.
Yeah. Well, naive's probably a better word, I'd say.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But, so Gabe's got his evil stuff going on, but then he's also helping with the movie premiere. And then at the movie premiere night, Duncan comes out after the movie and literally says to Gabe about how Necrocritter, what was his name?
Oh, something like that.
Lobster Boy, the lobster
let's go with
monster,
that.
is a misunderstood villain who just wants to fall in love. And that they show none of that in the first season while they're filming it. But now that they've decided that Gabe is going to be in love with Kinsey this season, they just have him be a massive lover boy. And it's just so... Because Gabe never really does anything to redeem himself in any way, apart from the fact that he doesn't murder Kinsey because he's in love with Kinsey for no reason, apart from the fact they made out a bunch. And I think they banged. But then they go out and literally tell you via Duncan how misunderstood the bad guy is and that he just wants love. And I'm like, oh no. Like, they're just straight up telling us what's going to happen. And then they still don't make him misunderstood. They still make him super evil. But we're supposed to know now because Duncan told us that he's in love with Kinsey. And it's like, cool, thanks, I don't care. But then Bodhi kind of also has his own season arc for the first half.
Yeah.
Where he's making a new friend. And then in the same episode... So Duncan's boyfriend comes over for dinner, right?
Yeah.
In episode 2.
Yeah.
And he says to Nina, are you thinking about getting back out there? Like, do you want to date?
9 months after her
yeah,
husband was
literally 9
killed
months after
in front of her.
And he beat the shit out of Sam with a hammer.
Yeah.
Like, she was intimately involved with that. And then Duncan's boyfriend, who leaves for Japan just because...
Budget constraints, you know. That's probably why they didn't have
want another
the original chicken, you know.
They're like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's why they had Gabe in it for most of it. He's probably cheaper.
I mean, but I think people like Gabe, like, and maybe it was more shockful. Anyway, but Duncan says to Nina, do you want... Are you thinking about getting back out there and getting back in the dating scene? That same episode, she meets a handsome bearded man. And
gosh,
like,
jolly, who's just moved in.
Yeah, and he's new to
Convenient.
town. And as soon as he says he's new to town, I was like, oh god, it's Gabe again. Like, Gabe just wants to have sex with literally everyone. Because Gabe fucks Tyler too, right?
At least makes out.
Dodge does.
Yeah, Dodge.
Because they get into the car, which is a Dodge, right?
Was it?
Was it?
Was it?
I don't know.
That'd be kind of funny.
I don't know cars.
It was just
But then Gabe rocks up in the same car, like, later in the season, and I'm like, no one noticed. But Kinsey already knew by that point that Dodge was Gabe, so I was like, okay, fine. Even if she did figure it out, whatever. But it's just terrible. No, the show overall isn't terrible. Do have to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
I moderately enjoyed the show despite all of the stupid.
Well, it's like, yeah, with the characters coming to the slow realization of everything, or like, you know, going, oh, Bodhi, even though you've survived everything so thus far, we're going to put you in school.
Bodhi's just a kid.
For your protection. You know, there's an army of demons out there, but we're going to put you in school.
I wrote that down.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get back to how dumb all the kids are. I kind of want to do a supercut of all the stupid decisions. But let's go through the flashbacks of this season. Which...
Yes, with the gold guy.
The Gold.
Yes, the Gould.
The Guild.
The Gould.
General Hammond. That's not a Texan
Of
accent.
Texas.
I don't even know what that was. Hammond of Texas. So then you've got... So, with the flashbacks, you start the season 2 with a flashback, which spends 10, 15 minutes of the episode, because they have nothing else to show you.
Yeah.
And they go nowhere, is the short of it. Basically, you get to 1775, and you see...
You see the three Englishmen, and then you have the revolutionaries.
Yeah, that's right. True. You start halfway through a flashback that we see later.
Yeah.
So this flashback that they start the season with is a teaser trailer for the later on one.
Pretty much is. That's all it kind of serves the purpose to go, whoa, who's that guy? Why is that guy doing that? What's going on here? How'd they get here?
And I mean, like,
find out
I kind of didn't
later
care
in the season
how the door appeared. It sounds weird. Like, you think you'd wonder about this super mysterious door that appeared out of nowhere.
Appeared out of nowhere after some random guy at some random time just decided to touch a random rock.
I mean, not even that. Like, I kind of always thought the portal was there, maybe. And, like, I knew... Because they showed that the Whispering Eye in that one gives you the keys because of the flashback. But yeah, basically, the flashback, they show 3 redcoats who are the English. I don't know my American history because I'm not American. American't. So then they show... Oh, no, I said can't. So yeah, then you have the 1775 flashback, which is 3 redcoats hiding in a cave, and they're being chased by...
The revolutionaries.
Yeah, the revolutionaries... The colonialists?
The colonial people.
They're being chased by the English people are in a cave hiding from Americans.
There you go. Yep.
English people bad, American people good in this context. And then...
Yes, colonialism is bad, kids.
Yeah, I don't really remember this bit as well. I thought the portal was always there, but you're saying...
No, it wasn't. He puts his hand on it and the rocks fall away.
So he puts his hand on that wall?
Yeah, on that wall, because he's going, oh, is this the... Oh, is this the only way out or something? Is there no way out?
He thought it was a dead end.
Yeah.
But it was just a portal.
It was a portal.
Why not just have the portal always there? And then, like, sure, he could be the first people to come down there. Or we could do a flashback even further on. And
to the year 7.
Yeah, and have Native American Indians come in and be like...
yeah, good point. If it's in America...
well, yeah, it's been inhabited for a long time before 1775.
Oh, yeah. Does this... No, I don't really know my Native American much, but they don't have anything tales like this, do they?
Oh, I doubt it.
You know, like demons and stuff like that.
I mean, every culture has demons, but as far as a cave of wonders goes, I don't know. That's more Aladdin. Yeah, sorry. So the flashback goes nowhere, but you say that he touched a wall for no reason, and then the wall fell apart
like a
for no
full
reason.
close-up shot and everything of him going boom, and then
yeah, because I thought that was weird. Because Eden, when she's talking to Josh Bennett. Is Josh Bennett a descendant of Gideon?
Oh,
the main redcoat's name is Gideon. He is a bad guy because we find out later on that he told his men to rape all the Locke women just because bad people do raping.
Showing he's a true gold, you know.
Bad people do rape.
Stargate reference.
It's what happens.
But yeah.
Always Stargate reference.
Yeah, I guess, I mean... I guess, you know, show than tell, I suppose, but, like...
But why not just have the portal always there? Because, yeah, Eden says later on that Gideon must have been a very powerful man to open the portal. And I was like, that's weird. Like, I didn't understand that at the time, because I must have missed the obvious close-up of his hand. Stupid. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
And then later on... So we get that scene, and then we get...
Was the rock glowing? Was the rock glowing before he touched
I mean,
it?
I'll put a clip in as to whether it was glowing. But even if it's slightly glowing, they're just always... Like, why not always have the portal there? Why have one guy just open it up?
Yeah.
But then you've got men touch portal open.
Little tidbit, though. It's just a little nitpick, but, like, in the first season, when the bullets are coming out, they come from all different angles. But in season 2, it only ever comes from one angle. I don't know. That's just something I've noticed.
Reuse the same shot.
They're just reusing the same thing. I don't know. That's just a little nitpick, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what was I saying?
But then, like, another thing too is what stopped them from just... okay, here's another thing, right? Their back's against the wall, you know? They have muskets, you know? They're not reloading those things indoors, even though I've noticed they were going bang, bang, bang. They're going like...
Multiple shooting, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, how... Okay, I did like that the revolutionary, after he fired his musket, pulled out one pistol, pulled out another pistol, but you didn't really see that. Like, I don't know if it's the shots were just getting cut too quick, but like...
It's a dark cave too. So
yeah,
it's probably just messy
but like
editing.
that guy is definitely not going bang, you know, behind a freaking rock that has barely any cover. Going,
also,
hold on, guys.
The echo in that cave alone.
Okay. Like, yeah. So I don't know, but anyway, yeah. So the back's against the wall. Why didn't they just think, let's go in the portal? I know.
Bennett says later on that it feels the energy is bad. So maybe it just feels spooky, so you don't want to walk in. I mean, it is the fucking hell world, so I guess it makes
I
sense.
suppose. The hell world. Oy.
But then you've got, so that flashback kind of just ends, and I think you might find out that that the Locke, that Jonathan Locke or whatever his name is, was down there. So then, cool. That's episode 1 at the very first 10 minutes. And then I don't think we get another flashback till like episode 7.
Yeah, way down the track.
Tyler wants to make...
Oh, wait. No, we do get the flashbacks of like that kid and his father in the workshop. And the father was like going, the kid's like, I'm just,
Yeah, that's in episode 7.
Is that just 7? Oh, there's 7.
That's when they give the longer one, because then in episode 7 or whatever it is, it's later in the season, they bring back that same flashback, but you get a bit before that of the Locke's just hanging out. The Locke was a blacksmith, which is convenient for melting down metal.
Yeah,
He was making weapons, and then the redcoats rock up, and then try to rape and pillage his women, and then the young Locke runs off before everyone gets murdered. Before everyone gets murdered, the son comes back, starts shooting other redcoats. Gideon and Dad Locke. Gideon stabs Dad Locke die. Son Locke sad, and then they chase him down to the caves.
But here's the thing though, that I found kind of interesting. Like, was it when they get to the cliff, right? They throw they slap the horses and the horses go away, and then they go down to the cave. So I would have thought I thought that was a misdirection kind of thing, where they look at the horses' footsteps, and I thought, okay, so they're gonna follow the horses, but then they just go, hey, it's a cave. Let's go to the cave.
They're definitely in the sea caves.
Was there footprints? I'm just trying to remember if there were footprints towards the cave.
It was nighttime, even if there was. Like, it's very much like they wanted to get from the Locke house, from Key House, into the sea caves.
But then if they're trying to hide from a cave, wouldn't they just try and... I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's heat of the moment,
Everyone in the show makes bad decisions.
Yeah, that's really what it all comes back to, I guess. Yeah.
So, you get they chase them down to the sea caves, and then we get we see the bit that we see the bit that we saw in episode 1, but then the episode 1 flashback ended with Gideon getting infected, and then this one also has Gideon getting infected, but then they capture him, and then they just hang him.
Yeah.
So it's like, we didn't really learn anything extra in that season 7 flashback that they spend another 15 minutes on. And it's all basically to introduce the fact that Gideon comes back in the last 10 minutes of season 2. So then he's going to be the bad guy for season 3.
Dodge is gone, and they're like, ooh, we need this to be a multi-season thing. So
basically they need another bad guy. So they invented one. And then it really does feel like they shoehorned in those 2 flashbacks just to bring this guy in, because those flashbacks have nothing to do with what's happening.
No.
Like, they explain that the Whispering Iron is made from... that the keys are made from Whispering Iron. Yeah. Which we kind of figure out anyway, but then the characters also figure that out. So the flashback didn't help us in any real way, because the flashback doesn't even tell us in season 1.
Yeah.
So Tyler starts making the key anyway before that point. So because Gabe's trying to make the keys. So Gabe actually talks about how you make keys out of Whispering Iron. Yeah. And it's like, cool, why do we need these flashbacks? It was for literally just Gideon.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
So that...
we wouldn't really need the flashbacks anyway.
I don't think they were necessary.
Yeah.
And then Gabe's whole season is devoted to him... Well, he starts off being with Eden, and they're both demons together, and Gabe is definitely in charge of Eden. Not sure why, because they're both demons, apart from the fact that Gabe can't die. So Gabe could kill her, but she couldn't kill him. But she could very easily tie him up or push him through a portal to, like, literally anywhere. They have the Anywhere key. She could push him through there. And then it's like, cool. I'm happy.
That's another sort of silly decision, isn't it? She could have taken control at any time. Yeah. And she even tries with, like, the history teacher, but, like, to get more demons out.
And then why does she want more demons? Like, they never really say what the actual point of their plan is, apart from the fact that more demons. Later on, Gabe kind of gets into the whole, I want to take over the world, but then he just decides to do it very, very slowly and very poorly, because...
I'm pretty sure one key is really going to take forever in infecting 7 billion people.
Even if it does, though, you just walk up to everyone, stab them in the back randomly. You could jab them before anyone noticed, but he ends up with like 10, 20 people tops, and that's in 3 months or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not 3 months.
Wow.
But he has ages.
Yeah.
He has enough time to get all these people together, and they just don't worry about it. Like, why not get literally everyone? And why keep everyone at a compound? Why not be constantly getting more people? Because then you'd be unstoppable instead of ending up with 20 randoms. And they didn't even pick friends of the characters except Jackie. Oh, and the policeman, which is friend of the mum. But
Who never draws his gun.
It could be very dramatic if you have all of your friends coming at you. It's a zombie movie then.
Yeah, that's it.
But instead, you don't get that.
I did like the twist on that one though,
Which
where like
twist?
the key that like gets rid of the demon just kills them.
I mean,
it's like you
it
might
was very
as
dramatic to have Tyler no longer have a girlfriend. I think they kind
guess.
of wanted Tyler to go away for a while.
I mean, I guess that does really bring in the drama. But it's just like what. So then, what's the point of using the key when you could just use a bullet?
I was going to say they've said that you can kill a demon if it's in a human body.
Yeah, just
So
pop. All right, cool.
I mean, it only really comes in handy for Dodge, obviously, because you can't kill Lucas, but you can get the demon out of Lucas.
But then now, if they, wait,
Is the demon
I
just
think
out
I
there?
just figured out what's going to happen the next season.
What?
If Lucas is an echo, right? Oh wait, no, that wouldn't work because then, okay. So at the end of the season, right, when like she puts the echo key in and says, Gideon,
Yep.
and Gideon comes back and then he throws her down a well.
Mm-hmm. She's dead.
Did the key go with her?
No,
because
I'm pretty sure he picks that up and...
No, he picks up the anywhere key. Because he takes the
True.
anywhere key out. So I'm just thinking, like, is this how they're going to bring everyone back?
No, the anywhere key would have been in the door.
Yeah, the anywhere key, which he takes out, looks
thought-
at it, and then walks off with it.
Okay, I thought that was
The echo key, though, I don't know if she took it out of the lock or not. But, like, I'm just thinking, like, is that how they're going to bring people back?
But even then, they're in the echoes.
Well, yeah, but then you saw with... Was it Lucas? No. Yeah, Lucas. He was fine. Dodge was like... He was an echo, but then they put the key into him, and it separated it.
Tyler had a way to get his girlfriend back, and they knew that. But she would always be young and invincible. But is that really a bad thing? Like, for a lot of the time, I feel like having an invincible, never dying friend that is also your girlfriend would work out pretty well when you're in a fight against demons.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking.
They could have brought their dad back multiple times because they had the echo. Oh wait, no.
No, they never had the echo key.
Only Eden.
I don't even think they know about the echo key.
No,
but they know about the echoes.
They knew. Yeah, they knew the echo key existed because Ellie told them.
Oh well, then.
So they must have just thought Gabe always had it.
Yeah, true. So that means that there you go. That if something like that doesn't happen in season 3, then I don't know what. There's got to be a downside to like being an echo, surely.
I mean, there wasn't for the first 9 months or whatever.
That's true. Yeah. So I figure that may be a plot point going forward, I suppose. But then, that could be a plot point for Gideon as well. He could probably get his army back. And then go, whoa, the English are back. What? The English
The British
lost?
are coming.
Yeah. The
I had a thought.
I swear, if there is a French person in the next season that's going against Gideon, I'm just going to be like, come on. How much more obvious can you be?
I mean...
So, history joke, because the French came in and helped the revolutionaries kick the English out.
Well, I mean, they'd have to bring another character in. Like, I'm new to Matheson. Like, really? Another one?
Bonjour. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's... Whose storyline did we just go over? Oh, yeah, Eden. So, Eden's a little bitch the whole time to Gabe. And then, at the very end, decides to go on her own way and kind of fails. Bodhi meets a new girl, and that kind of just ties into Josh Bennett, the new guy, who is Nina's new love interest that they literally bring in episode 2. And then they kind of forget about Nina again. Yeah. The whole show must hate Nina. Because they...
She really did seem like a side character in this one, didn't she?
I mean, she seemed like it in season 1 too. Like, she'd just rock... It feels like a show for kids. Because usually you'd try to get rid of the kids. But a lot of the people watching this show wouldn't be kids.
No, it's more of a... I reckon it's marketed towards a teen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It should be, but it feels like a kid show. Especially because... Season 1 has like 3 episodes of just Bodhi, just running around a house, which feels like the Spiderwick.
That's your crossover audience there, except for the grotesque, like, I guess there's a lot of. I mean, there's not really graphic violence in it, is there?
Yeah, this dude gets his face bitten off in episode 1.
True, that's right. Good point. Yes, and then there's obviously the one where the key. That's the other thing too. With the key that fails and like turns people into a goopy mess. I'm surprised they didn't use that more. Like,
Oh yeah, like he could have just kept that. Although again, just shoot people.
Oh, that's another thing. A lot of things in this a lot of things in this show could be solved if they just shoot people. I guess.
Well, they do say you can't kill Dodge, so you couldn't solve Dodge, but a lot of other things could be solved.
Yeah, there you go. Guns are cool.
Cutting that out immediately. So Nina's story arc is she has they want to give her a boyfriend, or at least a love interest, and introduce Josh at the same time.
Yeah.
So then they make Josh the love interest by having Nina fixing up a building. I thought the final showdown was going to be in this building, and there was going to be a musical at the end of the show or something. Because she constantly talks about there's a deadline for her finishing this thing.
Oh,
and then
true.
She doesn't finish it by the end of the season.
Never gets mentioned again.
We see her working on it in episode 2 when they introduce Josh, and then she's there. She's at the school a couple more times, but all that does is Duncan takes her away from the school. Like, she's at the school to do that.
Side note on that one, when they introduced Josh, you noticed the mansplaining drop.
Oh, I didn't feel too bad. It felt like him being a history buff.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, but it was also way too obvious that they're going to get together. So
Josh really was just the air of convenience. Like, he conveniently came in at that point of time. Conveniently had a wife that died. Conveniently has a daughter that Bodhi's going to get along with. Who, another thing too. Why did Bodhi talk about moving a car?
Because Bodhi is an idiot sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes he will help take down a demon, and other times he will think it is completely okay to tell his classmates that he spun a car on his finger. And also, the Hercules key can't even push Dodge through a door later on, but apparently Bodhi can spin a car on his finger.
Well, even then, Eden was sort of matched with Kenzie as well.
Kenzie had the belt on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But they were still evenly matched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, the belt only makes you as strong as a demon, even though we've never seen Gabe pick up a car and throw a car, whereas Bodhi was, easily moving things. Dodge was extremely strong in Season 1. She would, grab people by the throat and they'd be like, no.
Yeah, true, yeah.
I guess because demons are strong. Eating a demon gets you swole, apparently.
Yeah,
but
without any physical... Yeah, I don't get that.
So, but, at least they do say that demons are strong. But then the Hercules key is only as strong as a demon when you're fighting a demon. But later on it can do much more. You can lift heavy rocks. Yeah. Whereas Gabe never does anything that strong. Gabe is basically a very strong person. He will lift up and... he can punch you around a room pretty easily, but they never show him lifting up a car. So you would think Hercules' belt would win, but doesn't.
Yeah, no.
And then...
Or even how they... I don't know, too. You never figure out how... Is there a tie-in comic or something like that? That's how they find the Hercules key? It just comes out of nowhere.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Another thing, too. Bodhi is smashing a couch against the door frame and repeatedly does that to the point where Nina is coming up the stairs and he's still smashing the couch against the door frame. I'm trying to think, after the 20th time, I don't think it's going through the way that you tried to put it through.
But they needed to introduce the Hercules key.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. I did like the part where he's like, oh, you're just going to forget in 3, 2, and you forgot.
But they didn't need to have Nina forgetting. Nina remembering would have been so much more convenient, but instead they have to babysit her later on.
Yeah. Well,
also, this is a very long... I just realized that this is the same, Gabe, the Rendell's old girlfriend. And they have they do the whole episode in the hay bale maze, because it's an American show, so of course they need a hay bale maze.
Yeah, and of course they need a convenient... Oh, sorry, Buddy got his phone taken off from quite a lot in this season.
Well, at least they gave him a phone. In Season 1, you didn't even have a phone, so I was like,
that's a good point. And then they're like, oh, wait, he has a phone. We need to take that off him.
Yeah.
Into the maze.
In the convenient points in time.
Actually, yeah. I can't believe the last episode was called Cliffhanger.
As soon as they built their fucking house on the side of... Whose house was that?
That was just one of the people that the demons took over.
Nice house.
Just nice house.
Nice Airbnb that was not great CGI when that was crumbling. Inside looked fine, but the external looked like a little model that they're just dumb.
Yeah.
A little bit more on underusing adults. So Nina literally does nothing the whole season. She's kind of just in the way, and she introduces Josh, but then Josh, who's another adult, basically does nothing the whole time. Because Josh, he spends his whole time talking about how he wants to find out about the Omega Door and the keys.
Yeah.
But then it's like...
Thinking that he could bring back, someone from the dead.
Yeah, like I mean...
Oh,
I didn't mind him having, like, a dead wife and a goal.
Yeah.
But then he just takes so long to get anywhere with it, because he only rocks up in an episode for, like, 10 minutes at a time. And he's a way for them to get more Whispering Iron, but that didn't need to happen. So he kind of just pops up, does nothing, goes away. Pops up, does nothing, goes away. And then there's a little bit like him and Nina. So they kind of develop Nina more, but she's also does nothing to the story. So they bothered to develop a character and give the character a love interest that just does nothing.
I mean, now that she's got the memory key, maybe she'll have a bigger impact in the
I'm
next
hoping
season.
so, because Duncan actually became decent. Because again, they wasted Duncan all of season 1.
Yeah.
Mainly because, goddamn, Aaron Ashmore, I think it's Aaron. I think this one's Aaron.
Is this one Aaron?
I'm just going to say Ashmore. Ashmore is goddamn... He's the same one from Killjoys, and...
But not the same one from The Rookie.
Oh, really? That's the other one?
That's the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but he's so charming, and just so, like, he pops up again in the first season for, like, 5 minutes at a time, for no reason, but he's charming as hell, and he's great, and they just don't use him at all, until finally in, like, again, episode 6 or 7, season 2, they finally decide to give him the memory key, and then it's wonderful. Where's the memory key hidden?
But then it's like, why did they put all his memories in jars and hide them as well?
So that he would forget about the murder, but instead of just removing the murder jar.
But then why did if you get the memory key, then just...
Because...
Also, another thing, why 18? What
18 what?
18 years you forget, right? Why 18? 18 is something that we culturally constructed as like a reaching adult thing.
I mean, it had to come from somewhere.
I mean, I guess we have a scientific basis.
In 1775, I feel like you were probably an adult at 14 because you were having kids at 14.
Yeah, or earlier. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, but why? I mean, I guess when we create our laws to say we're going to be 18 to drink alcohol because they thought that our brain was developed enough at 18.
American adulthood is 21 anyway.
Well, that's the thing, but that's more to stop delinquency.
You can vote at 18, can't you?
Yeah, you can vote at 18.
Yeah, so, okay, you can vote at 18.
Yeah, I guess.
21.
But then they say that your brain doesn't stop developing till 20. It doesn't like, it's still developing up until 25, and it's just like
26, and I feel like a baby. It's fine.
Yeah, that's
it never happens.
Same. Yeah, so it's just like I don't get like, so why does magic care about the number 18? Like why? Like it's weird.
It is also weird. I mean, it's probably in the books, but it's also kind of.
But then again, I guess the keys are man-made.
They make people forget.
Yeah, but then again, another thing too is like the guy who made the keys.
I really doubt.
In 1775,
he said, "But you're gonna forget about it when you're 18."
When you're 18, yeah.
I think they actually say in the show at some point that it's a byproduct of. No, in the books, I think it's if you live in Key House.
Ah.
I read that somewhere.
Well, it's like another thing too. It's like why the locks are so special because I guess the lock was the one to
create.
Well, but I mean, the lock was the one to create the keys in the beginning.
I guess it's his blood in them.
Yeah.
So his blood can hear the whisper.
Yeah.
So any of his descendants, but also they get diluted. But whatever.
Yeah, and then which also brings up to the point of the keys not being taken from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But only demons can't take them from locks.
Only demons can't take them from locks, but like. Yeah, but the wording is so weird.
Yeah, I definitely wrote that down.
He's like, Tyler literally says, I want you to take this from me.
Yeah, how is that any different
to take this?
Or even try to take this from me.
Yeah.
Or
like even when Bodhi uses the same sort of language. It's like, oh, here, you can have it, you know. Like,
yeah,
no, does he say here you can have it?
No, he says like, take this or something.
Yeah, take this.
Which is, how is take this different to...
I want you to take this.
I want you to try to take this, or like, take this, or take... No, at some points they even say, take this key from me. And take this key from me is a direct invitation of like, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So... I kind of get if they just said, like, if they just held up the key, like, oh, but even offering it, it's just super poorly...
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
Handled.
Is it intention, I guess? You know, because they're talking about how, like, oh, there's intention behind creating the keys. I guess maybe there's intention behind the words.
But no, well, the wording itself should be the thing, because if he's saying take this from me, or take this key, or try and take this key, does the try make the difference? It's just super vague, and it is incredibly weird.
It's not. It's like the complete opposite to be careful what you wish for. It's like you say, I want to be rich, and then you don't specify what, and you're rich in iron and you die. So
thanks.
So I don't know.
It's very very.
That was really sort of threw me off, I think.
So they have plans to twice. Is it twice throughout the show that they try to come up with plans to catch Gabe / Dodge?
Yeah.
What was the first one? I remember the second one.
The first one was get him into the door. The second one was trying to use the chain key, but that obviously backfired. Then
the chain key wasn't even a plan. That was
just
Vossi at some point.
Yeah. This guy.
The shit thing about Vossi's plan was it was a great plan. She rocks up, she grabs Gabe, and drags him away. But the dumb part is she said, "Nobody follow me." Because if even one because her whole plan was foiled because Eden walked up behind her and smacked her over the head. Even though Gabe told Eden to go the other direction.
But even then, even if she was to drag him, drag him across the fair to find and then she didn't have the anywhere key either.
Yeah.
So how is
Duncan had the anywhere key, so she literally could have just gone with Duncan, captured him, dragged him straight through, because her whole plan was foiled by Eden smacking her over the head, and then she died, and she died hard. But it could have just been. It was a great plan if she involved literally anybody else. And she also hid what the key did from everyone.
Yeah,
which was another pointless thing.
Probably would have been good to know. You know.
But her plan was foiled immediately. They spent that. They spent that whole time. They spent that whole episode working up this maze and how there's going to be a showdown. But then Vossi gets defeated in 1 second, and it's just ugh. And then the other time they have to do a plan.
Everyone saw it coming the second they went in the maze. It was just oh, here we go.
And then the whole everyone passing each other.
Yeah.
But then they find Bodhi fine. Oh, the second plan. When they go with. So everyone's just found out that Gabe is Dodge. And the way they found that out is they got Eden really drunk. So demons are affected by alcohol. And then they put her. They use the head key, go into her head. And then they see a literal memory. Even though Kenzie had her fear kidnapped by Gabe for ages, and then she got her fear back. I thought when she got her fear back, she would remember the fear's memories or something, and I'm oh, that's how she's gonna remember Gabe.
Oh yeah, but that's a bit of.
Apparently, she doesn't get any of fear's memories, despite her fear being conscious, basically.
Yeah, and what's the other thing about the fear that was sort of it? Yeah, it's just how she's got an uneasy feeling around Gabe as soon as she got her fear back. I'm just is this saying that we have instincts that can just know when there's a red flag nearby or something? I feel a lot of my friends don't have that. I wish they would, but yeah, it's it's definitely just
the
vibes, man.
The second plan they try to do. So so Kinsey now knows that Gabe is Dodge. So what they want to do is they come up with an elaborate plan to go from... the plan is to get Gabe into the well house, because once he's in the well house, he's trapped.
Yeah.
And then I guess he can either stay in the well house forever, or they can try to force him through the door and he dies. But what they choose to do is get him as Necrocritter, the lobster boy.
Yeah.
So they get Lobster Boy and Kinsey are going to film a scene together, or film a test for a scene together in in Key House. And then they're going to trick him through the door, basically. But the way they do it is they have Bodhi and Tyler distract Eden, and then Scott literally sets up a whole scene involving the two of them holding hands and getting really, really close. And again, they really push home the whole he's a misunderstood bad guy who just wants love, and it's shit. It's just too heavy-handed mainly. But then they're going through that. But instead of having the scene, there's so many things they could have done better. they have the scene far away, and the whole plan is for Tyler to go anywhere key the door, and then just kind of have it a little bit open, and then... Oh, I missed a bit. They're setting up the scene. They didn't invite everyone, so that for their safety, but also they probably would have been able to help.
Yeah.
And they would have made it more realistic. So Gabe's getting sus the whole time, because it's just Scott, Kinsey, and him filming this scene instead of the camera guy. Instead of the sound guy.
Mm.
And then they're just kind of standing there, and then Scott tells Tyler to get something out of a room, and Tyler anywhere keys a room, and then the plan is for Kinsey to do the Hercules belt, and then push him through the door. Basically, at every point in the plan, they could have done something less stupid.
Yep.
They could have filmed the scene next to the door.
Mm-hmm.
If they filmed the scene next to a door, as they walked past, just open it and quickly push him through. Boom. Problem solved. Instead, they try to force him across an entire hallway.
Or even then,
past like 3 other doors.
Well, they're filming a scene, right? So they literally could have wrote in that, I don't know, maybe they gotta like blindfold Gabe or something like that, you know?
Yeah, again, yeah, they could have done anything. Or,
yeah.
Like the simplest thing would have just been to open the door next to him, push him through, or blindfold him, push him through.
That's right. The camera didn't have to be in the doorway. The camera could have been behind.
Yeah, camera could have been literally fucking anywhere. Yeah. Have Gabe looking away from the door. Instead, they choose a door that is like out of here, sure, but then he gets stuff in pushed. And the reason that plot gets foiled is because a fucking bird comes through the well house door into the fucking room, and Gabe's like, "There's a bird," and then he looks at the door and he somehow figures out that that's the well house. I guess he was trapped in there for a little while. Like, at least a few months.
No, he was trapped in... Oh, no, he was trapped in there for years, remember?
No.
Wasn't it years?
No, because when they... Oh, another flashback. We get a flashback to Ellie using the key.
Yeah.
Ellie literally says in that flashback, and then I couldn't take it anymore. And they show, like, 24 years later or something, which means it's probably, like, 3 or 4 months before Sam ever sees her in the picture.
Yeah.
Also, how does she communicate through a picture of a well house? Fucking whatever, don't care.
Oh, yeah. That's...
Just magic things.
Yeah, so that's never been explained.
Yeah, so basically, Ellie waited 24 years, or however many years, suddenly couldn't take it anymore, made Dodge, then Dodge gets Sam kills Rendell, and then the whole thing happens. But why did she wait so fucking long? And why did they give her the Echo Key? Why would you give the one that lost someone the ability to bring back someone they lost? Absurd.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to their other stupid plan. Because all their plans go so bloody wrong. Earlier in the season, they introduced a super cool key, the Small World Key. And what they could use this key for is to fuck with things in Key House. And they do the whole spider.
Oh,
and eventually, during the plan, they do contain Eden by having Bodhi's friend put through a glass and like capture her in the kitchen, which is a great idea. And I said to do, like, while watching it, I'm like, just use this. Although I was more thinking they should do what they did to the spider and just skewer Eden through the fucking chest and then like throw her through a door, or just like, or even reach in, grab Eden, pull Eden out of house. I'm pretty sure she dies.
What would happen if it comes out of house? Like, she's just really small?
Pretty sure they said that. Pretty sure she said, they said at one point, if the key's in, anything that leaves Key House is gone. Which is why the spider they originally tried to get out.
I don't remember. I remember they got out, but did it disappear?
No. She cleans it up and lifts it up. But what Fozzie says... Vossi. I think it's Vossi. Yeah. What Vossi says to Bodhi when he's on the phone to his friend is... Bodhi says, take out the key. But Vossi says, if you take out the key, anything in the house stays. So if they turned out the key, the spider still would have been in there.
Oh, yeah.
So they needed to leave the key in there, get rid of the spider. So that's why she skewers it. So if they just murdered Eden, like stab Eden through the chest with a pin, or just, because it's a kid's show, be humane, pick Eden up, pull her out, she's dead. Like, she's gone forever. They already knew at that point that you couldn't save a demon. Like, that once the demon was in there,
you
could, that's what they thought at least at the time.
Yeah.
Was that once they got the demon,
you notice they hinted at, like, you know, when, like, he went through the ghost key and has, like, the slug on his back? That's, like, the way that the old guy knew.
It's a proper demon possession.
That was a hint that, like, you could maybe, there's, like, a way.
Although no one ever sees that except us.
That's true.
And
yeah.
in all of season 2, even including the 3-week gap or 3-month gap between season 1 and 2, Bodhi doesn't go through the ghost door. No one goes to talk to Chamberlain or to see if Sam was out there. Because they knew Sam died right in front of the door, so they obviously figured out, well, they should have, but they're idiots, that Sam is probably a ghost out there. So they could have just gone out there, and Sam could have been like, guys, I'm so sorry, like, my bad. And Chamberlain could be like, yeah, he's a good kid now, don't worry. Also, Gabe's a demon. I saw him, like, he's been in your house for ages.
Well, that's another thing, too, when they were, like, creating
every
keys.
time Gabe was on the grounds, everyone would have been able to see the demon.
That's why, I guess, Duncan was sort of, like, the key maker guy, and so then they gave a reason for them to never see Chamberlain.
But they knew that Chamberlain knew how to make keys. So they could have also asked Chamberlain what happened to Duncan. Like why did they remove Duncan's memories?
No, they did. Chamberlain did tell them that in the first season, didn't he? Why? Yeah, where the memories were. Wasn't that him explaining them?
No, they found a key in the yard randomly, and then they put it into a tree, which was the tree key.
Yeah, the tree key.
Oh, the plant key. They don't explain the plant key.
Oh, yeah.
The whole season, I thought it was like a vault in the garden, but then
suddenly it's taking vines and
destroying
houses.
They use it as CGI for the vines, and then I was like, how are they doing this? Like, what key are they using? Yeah. Turns out, that's the plant key.
That's the plant key.
And then it becomes obviously a massive part in season 2, but I was like, the fuck, I did not know that. It was just so random and pointless, and I didn't...
It's just a convenience key. Hides things.
That's the thing, like...
Where'd the body go? Oh, shit, there's a body in the middle of nowhere.
They could have just explained that in season 1, or, like, that, we used a key. Instead, they're just like, yes, we used a key. And I'd forgotten that the plant key that they put into a tree lifted stuff up, because that's not what... Like, later on, they put the plant key in anywhere, like, any ground. But in this one instance, they had to put it into a tree. And that's why I thought it was like a tree key. And it hid stuff in the garden. No. Not at all. It lets you control any plant anywhere.
Maybe it's your intention. Again, behind the key, your intention.
And they had it for so long and they never used it on Dodge. Like, they just never used the plant key all of season 1.
Yeah, well then Dodge managed to get the plant key. How did Dodge get the plant key again? Anyway. The keys get changed hands so many times, it's hard to keep track.
And they have, all the keys are logoed. So, but they don't do a really good way of showing you who has what key.
Yeah.
But there's so many OP keys, like we've just been talking about the plant key.
Plant key, the anywhere key, the flame key, which was used quite a bit.
The flame key they use a fair bit, and I'm not mad at how they use the flame key ever. But the thing I am annoyed at is the way they use... Which one?
The Hercules key was used a lot.
But not for anything useful. Like, they try to push Gabe through one time, the rest of it is just like lifting things.
Yeah, really, it's just a lot of lifting things, yeah.
I mean, in fairness, it's what the key is good at, but they do use it for an awful lot of just making humans be able to lift things. It's like, I'm so glad we did this, thanks. But the small world key could have gotten rid of Gabe instantly. Like, because they have access to the top floor. What if someone just reached in, because they definitely knew they couldn't save Gabe. So there's a few things they could have done. They could have trapped Gabe like they trapped Eden. They could have picked Gabe up, pulled him out of the house, and he's just gone forever. They could have skewered Gabe to the fucking floor, and then the kids tie him up or something. Then they take him out to the thing. He would be fucked. He can't escape. Yeah, there's so many things they could have done.
You could just push him into the door.
Yeah. Just pick him up, throw him through the door.
Yeah.
Boom. That problem is solved. And then, there's just so many. But it all spawns from the kids being stupid. So let's just talk about the whole season arc of everyone's a fucking idiot. To start with, in season 1, I mean, it's not even just season 2. It's every season. All these kids are goddamn idiots.
I guess, to be devil's advocate,
because they're the devil?
Because they're demons in there. I guess it would be a really short season if they were very smart.
But no, they could just make the challenges harder.
Yeah.
Like, in writing, you don't have to make everyone an idiot. Because what they do is, in season 1, Bodhi's pretty dumb half the time. So, like, half the time Bodhi's a kid and he's dumb and you're like, okay, he's a kid, sure. Like, he gets tricked by a well lady. I'm okay with that. But then the 16 and 18-year-old or whatever they are, or 15 and 17, 16 and 17.
Something like that. They just look 23.
They probably are 23. Kinsey has an episode after she loses her fear where she's just the biggest dumb bitch goddamn ever. She, like, tries to cuck both her boyfriends, and, like...
I thought they were just, like, pushing through the other, like... You know how, like, Netflix likes pushing through, like...
Boundaries?
Yeah, boundaries
Wokeness.
is a way to put... Yeah, wokeness, kind of like the current political climate kind of thing. I thought that was like, oh, are they promoting polygamy now? Is this the next thing? But
I mean, yeah, like... And then Scott's just like, nah, and Kenzie's like, okay, I'll just date one of you, and I'm like, the fuck? But yeah, so Kenzie literally goes from being normal, she has one full episode of being a big dumb bitch, and then she leaves. And like, then she's back to normal after one episode. And then Tyler is normal, and then Tyler has one full episode of being a big dumb bitch. I'll put on screen what day they decide to be big dumb bitches. I can't super remember. But yeah, they decide to be big dumb bitches just for one episode.
Just
one
a
episode
montage
each.
of Mr. Blue Sky in the background of just constant boom, 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 boom.
I'll try to get every dumb moment. I've written most of them down, so they shouldn't be too hard to find. But it really is just, they have one dumb episode each. But then season 2, we've talked about how their plans go wrong because they're big dumb idiots. So when else are they big dumb idiots?
Let's send Bodhi to school.
Right. It's literally like I guess that kind of ties into Gabe's also a big dumb idiot. Everyone is a big dumb bitch in this show. Adults, kids. Bodhi is like the smartest kid some of the time. So yeah, I think we mentioned Bodhi is smart and helps with plans to take down demons and fight the world. And then the next day, Bodhi tells his entire class that he has superpowers. And the teacher's like, the fuck, kid?
Yeah.
Go away. And then they go with the next day. And then during the actual... I keep wanting to call it a zombie apocalypse, because that's what they were kind of going
pretty
for.
much is, yeah.
And I'm still mad that nothing happened in the theater. Nina rebuilt a theater for literally zero fucking reasons. Just have the final fight in the theater. Have anything in the theater.
It's always going to be about the cave or the key house.
Yeah. Make her redo the fucking...
Or even then.
But
they
wanted her out of the house.
Yeah.
That's literally all they wanted. But
Yeah.
even in season 1, when she was in the house, she did nothing. So it doesn't even matter where the fuck she is. She's useless.
I mean, I feel they just want that cliffhanger joke, you know, like, the last episode's called Cliffhanger. Ho, 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 ho. Oh,
Fucking
it's
Airbnb
meta.
on the edge of a cliff. And then... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So during the zombie apocalypse, while Gabe is super slowly making demons, like, they're like I think they skip forward 3 weeks from when they...
There was quite a bit of time skips.
Yeah, it was a while. But basically, Gabe has recruited like 20 people, that's all. Like, he could just walk into school, jab everyone. He could walk into school and be like, hey, can I talk to you, like, privately? Jab. And then they both go like...
Hey, can I jab?
Like, spend all day... Like, you can walk... Like, they've proved you can walk up behind someone and get them with a key pretty easily, like... Especially if it is one of the ones where it's, like, in the back.
And then again, like, yeah, it's in the back. You'd have to, like, lift the shirt up again.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time you lift the shirt up, they're turning around going, what the fuck?
No, if you're quick, just go... Gah, gah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, basically, Gabe should have, like, a fucking army in the time it takes him to get, like, 10 people. And he also gets a cop. I feel like a cop could be like, sorry, I need you to turn around and, like, lift up your shirt, make sure there's no drugs. Key, you're a demon now.
Yeah.
The cop could spend all day doing that. And like you said, the cop never pulls out his gun. All he does is have red eyes and act intimidating.
He's the only one that had red eyes, by the way.
Yeah, he also...
Yeah.
I thought, like, because he's a demon. He's the only one that we actually needed to know
you
at
also
that
notice
point.
the only time he pops up in the whole season was at that point where he's taking
I was
over.
going to say, he vanishes and then he suddenly appears again.
Yeah.
Which was why it was so obvious that he was a demon, but also then, at least the kids figure it out immediately, but only because his eyes glow.
Which doesn't for anyone else.
Just because. Just girly things.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gabe's plan is dumb and stupid, because Gabe's dumb and stupid, and he's in love with Kinsey for no reason. Eden's plan is to be a little bitch the whole time, and then... I guess Gideon must be a big bad demon at the end, because she says, oh wow, I didn't know it was you. So demons can apparently recognize each other as well. And then she gets thrown in a well, probably dies, if not, she's not in great shape and she's stuck in the bottom of a well. And then you've got...
I mean, they are strong.
Oh yeah, but like, she couldn't fight him. Like, so they should be the same strength, but
Yeah.
no. And he can't die either, so like, she again resurrected someone that couldn't die. Like, why would you do that? Why would you make another person that you can't be in control of? I know she couldn't get the Omega Key because the kids hid that somewhere. They never really went into where the actual Omega Key was. It was gone.
Well, then again, now that the cave got like caved in, it's like, so the door.
And the door opened.
Yeah, it did.
The door just fucking opened and let Ellie out. So like once you go in, you can come out.
But like, says that. Yeah, and there's something too. Ellie never explains what's on the other side, and nothing too.
There's
So
no
is it
time.
caved in? Does that mean the door is completely like inaccessible now? Like,
No, because Bodhi freed it, I guess.
did he?
Well, I mean, unless the cave. No,
No,
Ellie got
he-
out.
no,
It
no,
has
he-
to be. Ellie left. Ellie got out.
Yeah, but this. Oh wait. Oh, now I'm
Ellie
confused.
left after everyone else. So Ellie got out of the rubble.
Oh yeah, but that's
Find a
because
way out.
Bodhi, at the start of the cave, got rid of the rubble
Yeah.
on there.
Because
But
again,
but then you notice that like as she leaves, the cave's still sort of like rumbling.
why would it be?
And like
I
I
don't
remember
know.
when she leaves the frame, the rocks started
The
falling.
cave's open enough because Gideon's gonna need to get to the cave probably.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah.
And
yeah.
they kind of skip over in the flashbacks how they built a door.
No, they did. He builds a door.
Yeah, how?
Oh yeah, good point.
When does he attach this? Does he just drill into
Well,
the
another thing too is how does he avoid getting hit when he's building the
holds
door?
the door in front of him? I don't know.
Yeah.
Which would be smart, which was what Rendell and all his friends should have done. Is because they knew Whispering Iron came through, so they could have just, but they're dumb. So instead, they all go bare-bodied and like get hit. Who else does dumb shit? Oh, at the end, Gabe's plan is to use the plant key to destroy a cliff house. Probably didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
Well, that
that's
was their
right.
other.
Oh,
that
I
was
mean-
their other plan as well. Kinsey goes in and she's like going to use herself as bait to make Gabe look at her, and then she dives off the cliff. But she dives off the cliff before they've gotten to their point, so they realize that they're being played before the boys even go up in the elevator. So if Kinsey waited like 20 seconds more,
Yeah.
they'd be gone. But they had to do it. Same reason with Sam Lesser, how he's not just waiting by the door for Gabe to come back. Like, anyone could have come through and he could have taken over their body, but he knew Gabe was coming in because he can see all the things. So he could have seen Gabe walking up on his, riding up on his bike and gone, oh shit, he's coming back for Chamberlain. Hides around the corner, goes through, goes in. Instead, even when he's talking to Chamberlain, instead of just going immediately there, he waits for Chamberlain and Gabe to like, he waits for Chamberlain to look over so that Gabe notices, and then it's a race back, and then they get in the same body, and then Sam gets kicked out because no reason. That was so pointless.
Yeah,
And then the only other thing Sam does is lead them to the bird key, or the Icarus key.
So yeah, it proves that he can manipulate kind of like
Yeah, like
the real
but
world. But
why wait so long? It just felt so random. Like they didn't even need to bring in the Icarus key. If it's in the books and it's cool, sure, bring it in a little bit more naturally, or don't cram that and the Hercules key into one season. Like if you want multiple seasons, spread that shit out. Because now it's kind of basically, how many keys did Mark Cho hide? Because they say in season 1 that everyone got like 2 keys and then Mark hid the rest, and they hand Mark like 5 keys. We knew what all those keys were. But then once he was gone, apparently he hid like a harness, unless that's been there since like the 1700s.
it's not really hinted at, is it?
It's just left out.
But then like he could have hid like the keys anywhere in the country.
Yeah, why put them all in Key House?
Yeah.
Like it's just completely unnecessary. It's just dumb, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else
Yeah.
does something stupid?
Actually, little tidbit. You notice when the spider was in there, like how fake the webs were?
Oh, yeah. I think I even messaged you, like, why does a giant spider make small webs?
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of webs, so it was as if, like, the house had been taken over by, like, 1,000 tiny spiders. But a giant spider should make, like, thick web.
Yeah.
Instead of a bunch of Halloween...
I mean, I don't know what breed that spider was or what kind of webs it makes, but I don't think...
guess. But it's like, it's literally just Halloween stuff and just a lot of it. Like, that part was kind of cool because it's the small world key, and it's cool.
I mean, you sort of saw that foreshadowing when they flicked the spider off, and I was just like,
Oh,
here we go.
Who flicks us?
Yeah,
First of all,
that's...
that was like an Australian-ass spider.
Yeah.
Like, that thing was fucking huge. But apparently in America, they're just like, nah, go away, spider.
I'm just
Kill it! Like, yeah, why not hit the spider with a shoe? Why flick it away? And then, obviously, that spider survived and just came back later. It was too much. The rat skull was cool, like how they're like wait, this
Yeah.
place has giant rats?
Yeah, that's
and
true,
then
yeah.
they're like, no, Bodhi, you're being stupid. And then they introduce a small world key, and
Yeah,
it's like,
Bodhi, you're being stupid, you know? We just went through a whole season of magic keys. Bodhi, you're ridiculous.
Yeah, who cares
Oh,
about
man.
magic
Yeah.
keys?
I mean, I guess they did acknowledge that later on, where they're just like, oh, that's ridiculous. And they're like, this is ridiculous. And they, bring it up, and it's just like...
But now, send Bodhi to school. It's only a zombie apocalypse.
Yes, you're totally safe at school.
Does he do anything once he's at school?
He gets his phone taken off him. And that's
Oh,
really
yeah,
it.
but like... Oh, yeah, no, he comes to save Kinsey by pulling the fire alarm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true, that's right.
But, like, that's literally his whole bit there. He goes to school, then he leaves school. And it's like, I'm so glad they sent him to school. He could have just stayed home. He could have stayed home and guarded the house or some shit.
Yeah.
Anything except sending him to school. So, for no reason. Because then he doesn't even go with his friend. He, like, ditches his friend, too. Basically, it's a good show. Or it could be a good show. It's a good premise. I think it's a good premise for a show.
Yeah.
The production quality is there. It looks pretty good. The key house looks cool. Like they've got an entire. It must be a real house. It's too detailed to be a set. Yeah, maybe good. I'll look that up.
Yeah.
So, if it is an entire house, they've got a cool set. They've got a cool house. And just the writing isn't there. I think it's not even just the writing. The writing of the plot, I'm not too mad at. It does drag. It's a Netflix show. It has to go for 10 episodes. Like I was saying, this season 2 feels like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But also...
Just how long it took to get to the meat and potatoes.
I reckon they could have cut these seasons down. So it's a good show with terrible characters that make the show feel shitty. Because then you're watching the show and you're like, well, this is stupid. Like, there's no suspension of disbelief because you're just annoyed at everything the whole time. Whereas,
oh god, it's one thing that sticks to mind is like when Bodhi's trying to get the key out of the key house and like he literally just drags him out. It's just like, what? Come on, like just.
when he's trying to get it out of the
yeah, it's just like just let him. Like, gee, do you really have to drag him out? Like, come on.
And then, well, I mean, kind of the same thing when Bodhi's friend is holding Eden in the glass. The dad's like, no, come here. Why did she just like let go? And then she didn't like rush back and she didn't protest more. She's just like, no, Dad. And then like all her friends almost die. So good job, kid. But the writing, the character writing, that's a good. The plot, if the plot was the same, but the characters are smarter, and like things just happen a little differently to accommodate not idiots, it would probably be a pretty good show. But the characters definitely let the show down. The plot itself is fine, but I think season 1 and 2. If you cut out all the crap, you could probably make them one season.
Probably could.
But what makes me really angry is I think season 1 and 2 have oh shit, it's 2:55. 3 months. So it's a 3-month gap between 1 and 2. So Gabe is just hanging out with Kinsey for those 3 months.
Just like it's nothing.
And yeah, like he's trying to get the keys sneakily, but over 3 months we don't see anything. What? Like we didn't even need a time gap. Because all that really means is all the kids thought they threw Dodge through... All the kids thought they threw Dodge through the portal.
Yeah.
So they thought they were safe. They still didn't know where the Crown of Shadows was, or like 4 other keys.
And they even try to look for them.
Over that 3 months, they do not even try to look for those keys. They're just like, Dodge is gone, good job everyone. Ooh.
Oh, they would have thought maybe the keys went with Dodge in the door.
No, because they checked their body.
They did check
They knew
their
they weren't on a body. They even make a point of in season 1, they're like, where's the Crown of Shadows gone? And then they're like, oh, it's fine. We'll just get rid of this body. And it's like, are you stupid fucking idiots? Yes, they are. They're all stupid idiots. Big dumb boys.
Well, nothing as well is, why didn't they just put her back into the...
They knew that they could put her through the well door, yeah. Oh, wait, no, they didn't say that. They knew that she would be trapped in the well house. They didn't know that going over the threshold would delete her.
So they could just put her back in the well house, which was right there, rather than going all the way to the cliff, all the way in the caves.
Maybe they didn't know, but they should have.
Yeah.
Like, if they knew that she was trapped in the well without the Anywhere key, why not just put her back in there? But mainly because then they would know that it was Ellie when she woke up. Also, Ellie got punched by Dodge before transformed her, then Dodge punched Ellie and knocked out Ellie. Ellie was out for like 3 hours, because Ellie was out long enough for her to get back to Key House, probably using Anywhere door, but then she lay on the floor for long enough for the kids to get all their friends over, and then all of them took her to the sea caves, which is a long ass walk. It takes the characters like an hour or two to get there, even when they're like by themselves.
Yeah.
But now they're carrying a girl through a bush, and it's like, how long was Ellie knocked out for by that one punch? Like, geez, she should have head injuries forever.
And then conveniently wakes up just as they
Just
throw
as
her
she's about
into
to go through the door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because big dumb idiots.
Because
But
drama.
what I was going to say is... yeah, so season 1 doesn't end because it's a Netflix show. And then, instead, all the kids are the same, apart from the fact that they know about the keys, from the beginning of season 1 to the beginning of season 2. Dodge is still alive. Dodge just took a 3-month holiday, and Dodge just changed characters into Gabe, and did Gabe things instead of Dodge things. Because Dodge would have already had the keys in those 3 months.
Yep.
Or Dodge would have continued to attack. Instead, she went covert. She went deep cover for literally no reason. And then, why?
Get into their heads? It's...
To get into Kenzie, that's all. Because, like,
Yeah.
Gabe never hangs out with the others, apart from Gabe rocks up and Bodhi's like, oh, hey. And, like, so I guess they're friends. But Gabe acts nothing like Dodge. Lucas and Dodge act almost identically. But then Gabe is, like, the world's best actor. Whatever. Even Eden as a demon is still a massive bitch. Like, Eden as a human was a bit of a bitch. But Eden as a demon is just a massive bitch to literally everyone.
Oh, you're talking about as well, like... Yeah, or like when Eden was using the Anywhere key to get in, and to put the music box away, and leaves the Anywhere key there,
God.
right?
So that's another big dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, Eden has to break into the house, and then...
Yeah.
Instead of using... I know girls' pockets suck, but I think you can either hold onto a key or put a key in your pocket instead of putting music box back, getting distracted, putting key on table, hiding other things so that Duncan can get the Anywhere key.
Even then, when Duncan was like, oh, I don't know where I got it from, everyone would have just thought, like... They know that he got it from the house, so they would have thought... I don't know, like... I guess I don't know. Maybe it might be a bit much to put two and two together. I guess.
I definitely had the thought of like, wouldn't you want to know where that came from, or check his go into his head, check his memories?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you forget those memories or whether they're just blocked. Because Duncan later on remembers literally everything.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
But that's only obviously after they know that Gabe's a baddie. But yeah, so they could have definitely gotten away with it quicker, but they didn't.
And they lose the Anywhere key again because the baddies definitely always need it.
Yeah, because it's convenient when your bad guys can vanish. Oh, biggest annoyance in season 1, when Dodge / Lucas / Gabe would literally walk through a door, change person, from scene to scene. So we would see all of these people consecutively in a scene, and in our brains they're like, oh, these scenes are going on at the same time. But no, apparently they're right next to each other, so that Gabe had time to turn back into Dodge, be evil, then turn back into Gabe, make out with Kinsey, turn evil again, within like an hour.
Make out with Tyler.
Yeah, like within the same night, like literally going from place to place. And when they show it, it's like, okay, I guess. But also, it just feels like shitty writing, because they're basically tricking you, and not in like a clever way, just as far as we can tell, there's no way those 3 people can be the same person by how many times they were in different places at once. Unless Dodge like never sleeps, never does anything. And also, how did Dodge enroll in a school as Gabe? And have like a class record and like have teachers know about him?
That's a good point.
All in one day as well, because that same day that he escapes from the well house, he meets Kinsey in the movie. So that means he went to school, hung out in school long enough for Scott to be like, hey, do you want to be in my movie? That he didn't know Kinsey was in. So then he joins the movie. Exactly. It all happens like immediately. Like, Gabe's plan is just so far beyond, which is why it's stupid that they're all the same person. It feels like they shoehorned that in later on.
Yeah, I was about to say, now that you say that.
It's too close, like within the same scene. But, oh yeah, so the main problem is, end of season 1, bad guy's still alive. So in season 2, we finally kill the bad guy. And that's great. Season 1 and 2 kind of feels like one season. It's like one arc. It's you make Dodge, you kill Dodge. But then, who's the bad guy now? Gideon, right?
Yep.
Who is Gideon? Explain Gideon in one sentence. Or, like, what is Gideon in a fundamental level? Like,
evil English man.
Okay, fair. Aren't they all? No. What I was going to go with was Demon Echo. What was Dodge? A Demon Echo.
Echo.
So now we literally have exactly the same bad guy, except this new bad guy doesn't know about any of the keys except the Anywhere key, doesn't have a revenge plot on anybody.
Doesn't know about current times and...
Yeah, will talk like an old Englishman.
Like he was...
And be immediately recognized by literally everyone.
He has a colonial uniform.
He's going to walk out into...
Yeah. Well, not a colonial uniform,
coat.
sorry. Yeah, he's a red coat uniform.
Yeah, everyone's going to walk out and then immediately... So he's basically just... He's exactly the same as Dodge. Same powers, same death.
Except a bit more psycho, I guess.
But Dodge in the first, 3 episodes pushed a kid into a train track. For no reason, because apart from fuck that kid. So, literally, the bad guy is just a worse version of the same bad guy we just had. So how are they going to kill the new guy? Same key. Stab him. So that's my main problem. Is it's big and dumb. Big dumb.
Guess we'll figure out what happens next in season 3.
Yeah. Stupid. But yeah, no, that's my main problem. The character writing sucks, and then the bad guy was good in season 1. Dodge was genuinely threatening, and then Gabe was a little bitch boy who just loved Kinsey because they wanted him to be relatable, or they wanted him to be down to earth. I don't fucking know. So they ruined Gabe basically.
Yeah.
And then all for the sake of the plot twist at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
And then they made a new bad guy that's exactly the same as the last bad guy, which is my point of why it's pointless. But yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
But do you think people should watch it? Do you think it's worth the watch still?
Yeah, fuck it, do it. Honest, well, I mean, yeah, it's entertaining still in its own right. If you can just look past that. I mean, we were bringing up a lot of negatives, but I mean, it's...
That's why I did try to say, it's not a bad show. I literally binged it in the last, week?
I mean, we were already talking about spoilers anyway, so it's just people...
I watched season 1 and 2 in a week. I'd seen season 1 2 years ago. It feels like 5 years ago that first season came out.
It really does.
So I rewatched that and the second one. I wouldn't say I got bored. I definitely got annoyed at how stupid they were.
But at least it's like when I watch Lost in Space, and I get so annoyed every
What is
time.
Netflix's obsession with kids? Bodhi is a kid running around discovering things. Will Robinson is a kid running around discovering things.
Aang will soon be a kid running around discovering things.
I'm sure I could go through and just list off Netflix shows where it's an ensemble cast.
Luke Cage is a kid running around looking for things.
What? Looking for coffee. Looking for women to fuck. Classic Luke Cage.
Yeah.
What a shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess watch it and decide yourself whether the characters are too dumb. It's still a cool idea, having superpowers in keys. Not even in keys. If you had a thing that gives you a superpower, it's still cool.
It's unique. Yeah, I will give that. It is original and unique.
One thing they don't do enough is combining keys, using one key. Or using 2 keys that go well together.
Yeah, what's the flame key and the plant key went together?
It's kind of video gamey, but that'd be cool. And they just need to mix up the keys, and that's what I want from it. But in general, it's not a bad show. The characters are just shitty and annoying.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Tune in next time when we talk about the problems of Lost in Space.
Yeah, it could probably go... Oh, the new season comes out. I could do a rewatch. We could do a season 1 recap.